outside of the area, like so. And the container defines outside of the area. The frame let's see. Oh, this doesn't have everything in it. Okay, never mind. Yeah, this one defines the outside of the area, and the data, no, not data, frame container here. This one here defines the inside part of it. Now I needed to put you need to put something inside the frame too. And to do that, what I did is I've got, no, this is, okay. Excuse me, this is the one that's inside. I was mistaken. This is the one that contains the actual data. It's exactly the same as this one, except that it's got a different padding. The position is absolute so that it actually sits right on top of the container here. And this will contain the data, or excuse me. See, 50, like that, contains the data, because you'll note the data actually extends beyond where the corners of this are at. So that's 50, so that has to contain the data. And the other one down here contains the frame. So that this one here defines something about this big, which actually is the data. It contains the frame itself. This one defines something that is about like this, which is inside the page. Okay. And I think on the next one, I put the, wait a second. Try again. There we go. The next page here, I put a sampling of the upper left block, which is the part that contains this section right here. In that case, that's going to be at 0, 0. Left is 0, top is 0. Position square is going to be absolute. This is the height, the width and height of the image. And I set the margin, top and left, equal to the negative of the width and height, so that this particular block actually has size 0. Then I define the background image, which is upper left PNG. And that's this background image here is the one that I was talking about earlier from the that I cut out of my image. Okay. It's just the image that's required for this guy. Then the upper center, that's this one. In that case, position is absolute. It's the same place. It's put in the same place. The left is 0, top is 0, and the width is 100%. So it's going to be 100% of the block that it's in. Then you got a height and a margin top, which is used to extend that beyond the edge of the block that contains the frame. And the background image is set to the upper PNG, which is the top part of the one that I cut out. And last, of course, I repeat the background in the X direction so that it's copied completely across here. And because those are set up the way it is, the line goes across there, and there's no break. The upper right is upper right's just the upper right hand corner is exactly the same as the upper left, except that you're at the right and top, not the left and top. Okay. Is there any questions about that? Okay, I did the, when I did this, of course, I used the XML and CSS, but it requires is that the XML be repeated with each usage of the block or the frame, and it required that the CSS has to be repeated for each frame, because you have to have in the CSS code. In the CSS code here, when I refer to these images, I have to refer to different images for different frames. And that looked to be an ideal case to use some sort of a scripting code to do that. So I used PHP code. Okay. And what I decided to do is I have a class called frame and a method called draw that I wrote for that class. And the things that seemed important to me, the code, what's the code? Oh, okay, yes. Code is basically the code that generates whatever's supposed to fill the frame. There's a function which generates whatever's supposed to fill the frame. So if I want to get something in the frame, I simply call this particular function that was passed in. Type is a number which identifies which type of a frame I want. And I just simply numbered them, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so forth. Then width and height are the height and the width of the frame that I wanted, with the provision that in both the case of the height and the width, if I put in 0, then it will take the size from the data itself, rather than having me having to measure or assign a value for it. And lastly, centered. Yeah, I put a Boolean value, which probably isn't needed, to tell whether or not I wanted the frame centered. It's not needed because of the fact I could have built the frame inside of, outside of the whole thing, put a div and simply put the CSS code which is necessary to center the frame. But I think I put that in there initially.